Let's sit down, you and I face to face. No distractions, no excuses, no noise. Just you, me, and the reality you're living in. A reality you've taken for granted every single day of your life. I'm here to open your eyes, to rip away the fog of complacency that's clouded your vision. You're about to hear the truth, the kind of truth that hits like a punch to the gut, the kind that makes you rethink every complaint you've ever muttered, every time you've wasted sitting around doing nothing. You know what your biggest problem is. You're bored, you're jaded, you've got the audacity to feel discontent in the most incredible, unbelievable era in all of human history. You wake up every day in a world filled with more opportunity, more luxury, and more freedom than any generation that came before you. And yet you sigh as if you're living in chains. How dare you? This is the age of miracles you forgot? Look at where you are, right here, right now. You exist in an age of technological marvels, of medical miracles that would have been considered sorcery just a few generations ago. You've got a phone in your pocket that can access the sum of all human knowledge. You can reach out and connect with someone on the other side of the globe, share ideas, make plans, build a future, all without leaving your seat. And you treat it like it's a burden. You scroll mindlessly through it, as if it's there just to entertain you, not realizing the power you're holding. Think about it. If you were born 100 years ago, you'd be lucky to live past 50. A simple infection could take you out. You'd work back-breaking hours just to scrape by. No days off, no health care, no safety nets. If you survived childhood, you'd probably spend your life in a factory, your body breaking down long before your spirit ever got the chance to soar. But here you are, in the 21st century, whining about the inconvenience of a 9-to-5 job, as if it's some kind of torture. The average person today lives better than kings did a few hundred years ago, but you can't see it. You've lost perspective. Let me spell it out for you. This is by far the best time to be alive, ever, period. You've got modern medicine that can fix nearly anything wrong with you. You've got vaccines, treatments, surgeries that can give you a second chance at life. If you get sick, you don't just pray and hope for the best. You have access to healthcare, a system that gives you options your ancestors couldn't even dream of.
And what do you do with this gift of health? You waste it. You treat your body like garbage, filling it with junk food, drowning it in alcohol, sitting around all day as if movement itself is a chore. You're the healthiest generation, yet you're the laziest. You've got every reason to live a vibrant, energetic life, but you choose to numb yourself instead. And why? Because it's easier. Because comfort has become your enemy, not your ally. You've mistaken convenience for happiness, and it's making you soft. Now let's talk about freedom. You have it and you don't even realize it. This is the first time in human history when you can truly become whatever you want. You're not locked into a role because of your family status, your gender, or the country you were born in. You've got the internet, an endless resource of information and tools that can teach you anything you want to learn. You can build a business from your bedroom, become an artist, an athlete, a leader, anything you want. The only barrier left is your own laziness. And yet what do? You waste this freedom. You spend your days complaining about how hard it is to get ahead, how expensive everything is, how unfair the system is. Newsflash, life has always been hard. It was hard when your ancestors had to hunt their food with handmade weapons. It was hard when they fought wars just to have the right to exist. The difference is, they didn't have the choice to complain and sit around doing nothing. They had to fight, or they didn't survive. Look around you. Everything is better, easier, more accessible than it has ever been. You've got running water, electricity, transportation that can take you anywhere you want in the world. You've got food in your fridge, and not just any food. You've got choices. Fresh fruit in winter, exotic spices from across the world. Things that used to be luxuries are now taken for granted, but you don't appreciate it. You've become numb to the excess you're living in. You sit there sipping on your coffee, complaining about how expensive it is to buy a house, how tough it is to find a job you love, how miserable you are. Do you even hear yourself? Do you realize that just a few generations ago, Owning a house wasn't even a thought for most people. Survival was the goal. Having a stable roof over your head, enough food to feed your family, that was success. And now, with every advantage they never had, you still find a way to be miserable. That's not the world's fault. That's your fault. Your ancestors fought, bled, and died for the future you're living in. They endured hardships you can't even imagine, and they did it so that their descendants, you, could have a better life. And what have you done with it? You've become a passive observer in your own existence. You've become the disgrace of your bloodline, the one who had everything and did nothing. You think you're entitled to happiness, to success, to a good life just because you exist? That's not how it works. You want respect? Earn it. You want success? Fight for it. You want a life that matters? Stop wasting time. Get off the couch, put down the phone, and start doing something. The greatest tragedy isn't that life is hard. It's that you've been given every tool to overcome it, and you're still choosing to sit back and complain. So, what will your legacy be? Will you be remembered as the generation that had it all and wasted it? The one that complained about the small stuff while sitting on a mountain of opportunities? Future generations will look back at you and either thank you for making the most of what you had, or they'll despise you for squandering the greatest opportunity in human history. You have a choice right now to change the direction of your life. This is your wake-up call, your moment of clarity. You've been living in a fog of comfort and ease, but the truth is cutting through now. You can't ignore it anymore. The excuses you've been making, the lies you've been telling yourself, they end today. This is the greatest time to be alive, and it's time you started acting like it.